In the beginning of the story, we see a jail in Siberia where many German soldiers were lined up. In fact, after the end of World War II, Russia had taken many German soldiers as prisoners and started making them work day and night in coal mines. Although the security of this jail was very low, but despite this, no one tried to escape from this jail because there was snow all around this jail. And this jail was 14,000 kilometers away from any human settlement. So even if a prisoner ran away from this jail, his death was guaranteed in the winter when Siberia was frozen. This jail was built in the middle of the snow spread thousands of kilometers around, so no prisoner could even think of running away from here. But there was a prisoner among these prisoners who had a very sharp mind, and he wanted to run away from this jail and go to his wife and daughter. The name of this prisoner was Clemens Forell, who had to serve a total of 25 years in this jail, and Clemens did not want to spend half of his life in this jail. In any case, Clemens wanted to run away from this jail. Luckily, one day, Clemens got a chance to run away, and he ran away from this jail in a freight car carrying coal. Now, when he saw the stars in the open sky outside the jail, he was happy. But this happiness was a guest for a while. After walking a little distance, the freight car was stopped. And when Clemens looked outside, a Russian soldier with a gun was standing in front of him. Unfortunately, Clemens was caught here, and in the crime of running away from the jail, he was locked in an open-air cell. It was very cold, and the rain in the night had ruined Clemens' condition. In that cell, Clemens was not kept for a few hours, but for 2 days. Now, after 2 days, the next morning, the jail warden came to him, and he was taken out of the cell, and he was not tortured. He just said that your colleagues are impatiently waiting for you. Now, when Clemens met his colleagues, they were all waiting for him with sticks and sticks. They were all very angry at Clemens. Because of Clemens' escape, they had been starving for the last 2 days. And Clemens now understood the warden's point, that why did he say that your colleagues are waiting for you? Now, as soon as he saw Clemens, the rest of the prisoners attacked him and beat him very badly. In this beating, Clemens was so injured that he had to be admitted to the hospital in the jail. The doctor in this jail was also a German prisoner. As soon as Clemens came to his senses, he told the doctor that I want to escape from the jail again and I need your help. Dr. Clemens was surprised to see the bravery that he was not ready to give up even after enduring so much. The doctor explained to him that it is impossible to escape from this jail alive, and even if you run away from here, you will die in the freezing cold outside. But the fact is that even if you do not run away from here, your death is certain. Because the coal mines where you work, there is a lot of carbon which goes through the air into your body and causes dangerous diseases like cancer. That's why the doctor told Clemens that you should definitely try to escape from this jail for the last time. After that, the doctor took out all his warm clothes, shoes, and all the necessary things and gave them to Clemens. And he also told him that Russian soldiers hide their food near the railway lines. With this, he also gave Clemens a gun so that he can protect himself. Actually, the doctor had already collected all this stuff because he himself wanted to escape from this jail. But a week ago, he found out that he was a cancer patient and he did not have more than a month. Now he gave Clemens a lunchbox and said, if you survive, then send this lunchbox to my family and say that I am no longer in this world. Here, Clemens ran away again in the dark of the night, and this time he decided to walk instead of a cart. After walking all night, he keeps walking in the morning because he is afraid that the Russian soldiers might catch him. Now, when the warden found out in the morning that Clemens had escaped from the jail, he went straight to his room to interrogate the doctor. But before he reached, the doctor had taken his life, because he knew that after hearing the news of Clemens' escape, the warden would beat him very badly. After this, the warden sent many Russian soldiers in search of Clemens and ordered him to bring him back alive. But even after searching for many days, he could not find any trace of Clemens. Clemens' good fortune was that his footprints were disappearing due to the start of the snowfall, which was making it difficult to find Clemens. Now, everyone thought that Clemens would have frozen to death in this cold, but the warden was not ready to believe, because the warden knew that Clemens is very strong and he would not give up so easily. That's why he ordered to continue the search. On the other hand, we see Clemens, who was moving forward with full enthusiasm crossing the snowstorm. 9 days after escaping from the jail, he suddenly heard the barking of dogs.
And as soon as he turned back, he saw a sledge coming towards him. Before he ran, the sledge came to him and climbed on it and went ahead. Then Clemens' eyes opened and he found out that he was just dreaming. Actually, Clemens had been walking for the last 9 days, and now his food was also over. Due to hunger and fatigue, it was difficult for him to move forward. But despite this, Clemens did not give up and kept walking. After a few days, his body also gave up, and he fainted from hunger. Now, a few hours later, when he regained consciousness, he heard a strange voice around him. Then he saw a seal, and as soon as he saw it, his eyes lit up. He immediately pulled out his gun and tried to aim with all his strength. But due to fatigue and weakness, his aim was wrong, and the seals started running away from there. Clemens, who had a small hope of surviving after many days, could not let this hope go. Clemens immediately ran after him, but while running, Clemens falls into the water due to the ice breaking, causing injury to his feet. But despite being injured, he started chasing the seal. As soon as Clemens was about to shoot, the seal hid behind a rock. Clemens goes further and sees the seal again. Before it went into the water, Clemens shot his last bullet, and luckily he was shot. Seeing this, Clemens happily got up because now he did not have to worry about food during the journey. After a few days, Clemens ate his fill and continued his journey with a little rest. Now, in such a long journey, Clemens was completely alone, and there was nothing but snow all around him. In this environment, his mental condition could have deteriorated. That's why he would talk to himself and motivate himself to move forward by saying positive things. With this, he always looks for his way through the campus so that he doesn't get lost anywhere in the snowy valley. Days passed like this, and then months. Continuously, after 2 months, Clemens saw a small tree in this snowy field. Seeing this tree, Clemens was so happy that it was like he had found a treasure, and he ran and hugged that tree. Actually, this tree was a sign that Clemens had crossed this snowy field after walking for 2 months in a row, and the jungle is about to start ahead. After walking a little further, it happened exactly as he thought it would. Now the jungle was about to start from here. The snowy area was ending. He was very happy in the jungle. On the other hand, we see the warden, who was still looking for Clemens, and he ordered his search party to search for Clemens within a radius of 500 kilometers. While Clemens was moving forward through a jungle, a snowstorm suddenly came there. This storm was so fast that even the big trees started falling from the ground. As soon as Clemens tries to move forward, a big tree falls directly on him. Clemens was lucky that 2 men passed through here in the evening. Those were looking for gold. They saw Clemens and saved his life in time. After that, the 3 of them moved forward together, and after a long journey, they came out of the snowy field. On the way, they found a river, which they made a wooden boat to cross. While crossing the river, they started talking to each other and told each other childhood stories. But in the meantime, the flow of the river became fast, and the boat began to get out of control. In this way, one of the men's balance deteriorated, and he fell directly into the water. He did not know how to swim. He started drowning. Seeing this, Clemens jumped into the water and somehow brought that man to the shore and saved his life. On the other hand, his other companion leaves them to drown and moves forward alone. His other companion was very greedy. He thought that both of them would have died, and because of his greed, he kept his friend's gold with him. After a while, when Clemens and that other man reached the tent, that man was very angry with his friend, and he shot him and took his life. After that, Clemens and that man picked up the luggage and continued the journey. Both of them kept walking for many months in the hope that they would get some human population. But again, the winter season came, and the jungles on all sides were hidden in the white blanket of snow. The luggage that man had picked up was very heavy, so it was difficult for him to walk in the snow. Seeing this, Clemens tried to lighten his burden and said, "Give me your luggage for a while." But here, that man suspected that maybe Clemens also wanted to steal his gold. So he attacked Clemens and pushed him down, which made Clemens unconscious. After a while, Clemens came to his senses, and he saw that a herd of wolves was coming towards him. To save his life, he starts climbing a tree. But while climbing the tree, a wolf grabs his leg. but the tree was weak and the tree broke in the middle, causing Clement to fall down. Now Clement felt that his death was certain. Then suddenly there was a sound of a bullet. Clement opened his eyes and saw that some wolves had died and those who were alive had fled. Actually, the hunters of the area came and saved his life. They took him to their village where the villagers treated him. After years of hard work, Clement had reached a human population. He was very happy to see people. He stayed in the village for many days and people took good care of him. One day, a letter came to the village, which was not of anyone else but the warden himself. It said that a German soldier has escaped from our jail.
And if anyone gives him shelter, he will be called a traitor. Now, unwillingly, Clement had to leave this village, because if he didn't go from here, the warden would also punish the villagers. Before leaving, the villagers gave him food and a hunting dog. In this long journey, Clement has now become a companion. That's why he didn't feel lonely anymore. They both walked for many days. On the way, they saw a wooden factory and ran towards it in search of a dog to eat. Now Clement went inside to save his dog. There the workers recognized Clement and took him to the master. There Clement told the master his whole story, which made everyone pity Clement. They fed him and made him sit in the train going to Germany. Clement was happy that he would soon reach home, but he did not know that the master had given his news to the warden. Now the warden was waiting for him at the station with his soldiers. But before reaching the station, Clement saw the Russian soldiers from a distance, and as soon as he got a chance, he jumped out of the train and ran away. But unfortunately, the Russian soldiers saw him and started following him. Clement quickly crossed the tracks, but suddenly, I don't know where the warden came from. Seeing this, Clement got scared because he felt that his years of hard work had been wasted. Now before the warden arrested him, Clement's dog attacked the warden and bit him. And so once again, Clement got a chance to run, and he ran away with all his life. But then he heard the sound of bullets, and when he turned around and he saw his dog dead. Seeing this, Clement was very sad. But despite this, he did not stop and kept on moving forward with all his strength. After that, he climbed on the bridge and jumped on the train passing from below and ran away. And in some way, he escaped again from the hands of the warden. Now such days passed and Clement slowly moved forward in this journey. As soon as he saw, the year 1952 came, and now it had been 7 years since Clement had escaped from jail. He was in Central Asia at that time and was wandering here and there in a village fair. In that fair, he saw different things to eat and drink. He wanted to eat, but he did not have money, so he kept a stone on his heart and moved ahead. Then he saw 2 girls who were selling pancakes in the fair. Clement wanted to eat this pancake, but he did not have a single pie in his pocket. That's why he was sad and started walking ahead. But then one of them pitied him and he broke a piece of the pancake and gave it to Clement. At first, Clement felt a little weird. Then he thanked the girls and ate that pancake. Now there was also a Jewish man in this fair who had seen all this. After that, Clement went to a church and this man also followed him to the church. Actually, this man was also a prisoner at some time. That's why he did not hand over Clement to the police and tried to help him. After that, he took Clement to his house, where Clement shaved after many years and came back in his old appearance. Then that man gave Clement a new passport so that he could cross the Russian border and reach Germany. Clement was very happy with that man. Before leaving, Clement thanked him and left for the border between Russia and Germany. A few weeks later, Clement reached the border of Russia and showed his passport to the Russian soldier there. Here Clement was afraid that the soldier would not recognize him or his fake passport would not be caught. But fortunately, nothing like this happened, and the soldier allowed Clement to cross the border. Now seeing this, Clement was so happy that he could not stop his laughter even if he wanted to. Now finally he came to the bridge which he would reach his country, Germany, as soon as he crossed it. But as soon as he reached halfway, a bright light fell on his eyes, and when he opened his eyes, he saw the warden in front of him. Now when Clement turned around and saw, he was still on the Russian soil, and that meant that the warden could still arrest him. Now here Clement's heart broke, because his hard work of so many years was now going to be buried. But then something happened that even Clement himself did not expect. Here, the warden left his way and allowed him to go ahead. Now Clement did not believe it at first, but still he encouraged and moved ahead. In fact, the warden was very inspired by Clement's passion for survival and his bravery. That's why he did not arrest Clement and let him go back to his country. And then the warden tells him that this fight was between two soldiers, one me and one you, and you won it. Go live your life. Now finally Clement crossed that border and reached his country, Germany. After this, he reached near his house where he saw his daughter and wife. Now after a while, both of them leave the house to go to church, so Clement also followed them to church. Although Clement had not called his daughter yet, because he hoped that one day his father would come. When his daughter turned around and saw, she recognized her father and ran and hugged her father. Now after so many years, seeing Clement alive, there was no place for his wife's happiness. Finally, the three of them hugged each other, and with this, the film made on the true story ended here. I hope you liked today's story. If you liked this video, then like it and subscribe to the channel.